as I quickly go to check and see if my mic's... Nope, it wasn't. Okay, whew. And coming to you live from Yeonpyeong Island here off the coast of Gimpo, next to Seoul. We're here with the open qualifiers of DreamHack Last Chance. I am, of course, the host Yaku of Yakuzaku, and with me today we have Dejar de intentar hacerme usar Microsoft Edge, Bill Gates. Idiot. Light_VIP. How we doing, Light?
What's up, Yaku Funada, Microsoft Edge? We are here. We are back once again with some of these DreamHack qualifiers. It is the very first qualifier for DreamHack Last Chance. And mate, what a series.
What a series we have here. Of course, we're going to be starting with two players who've casted a lot here on the CranKy Ducklings channel. And we're going to be starting things off here on Oxide with the purple Protoss player spawned here in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, all the way in the bottom left-hand corner, representing Team NV, but no anime girl. We have NightMare.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Oxide LE, we have the blue Zerg player hailing from the land of Hong Kong, representing himself. It is GogojOey.
And I feel like we're having a bit of a clash of worlds here, Light.
Yeah, definitely. Joey, he is, renowned as the best player from Hong Kong, and of course one of the best Zerg players in our Southeast Asia region, but he's going up against a Korean here, against NightMare.
Yeah, NightMare, I mean, he's, for a while, been considered sort of a mid-tier Korean player, but definitely getting up there. We've been seeing a lot more of him for a while, actually. He was kind of the star of NV until they acquired a couple of other players, but he's still within a pretty conducive training environment.
Yeah, definitely. So NightMare, he was on a hiatus for quite a number of years. I'm not too sure if he did his military service or not. I just do know that he did step away from StarCraft quite a number of years ago, but here in 2020 he is back. He's been playing in the qualifiers, he's been playing consistently in all of the ESL Open Cup Asia weeklies as well, and we'll see if he can make it and actually qualify for a DreamHack, at least close qualifier itself. And he has a decent chance. Like, we have quite a number of qualifying spots today.
Yeah, 16 in total. And to remind everyone, not only are there 16 qualifying spots, we also have a double elimination bracket today.
Yeah, exactly.
So we'll have 8 players from the upper bracket and 8 players from the lower bracket. This is actually the only non-qualifying round in the upper bracket. After this, we're going straight into a best of 5. Whoever wins that qualifies.
Exactly. It did catch a lot of the players off guard because originally it was just, round of 16 qualifying matches and that was kind of it. But, as you said, they did last minute switch it to double elim.
Patience was so happy.
He
got seeded into the next round. He was like, all right.
Yeah, he's like, all right, I don't need to play. I'm done. Hopefully he didn't think that and then immediately leave. Hopefully he stuck around for the announcement that it was double elim. So hopefully he will be playing.
I wouldn't put it past him, but
exactly.
Yeah, I think I saw his name around in game anyway for a little bit.
Yeah, I hope so. And again, this is a bit of a treat because we don't get to see these two play that often. Every now and then GogojOey does sign up and play in an ESL Open Cup, but again, it's kind of few and far between, and even then you have to roll the dice to land NightMare. And we do have a Stargate opener coming out.
Yeah, going for a very traditional Void Rain to Oracle style here from NightMare. One that, considering the players that GogojOey often practices against, not too sure if he's too familiar with this style.
Yeah.
Of course, by players, I mostly mean Beastork.
I was about to say Beastork is really the big one when it comes to a Protoss, a consistent, maybe not even practice partner, but a Protoss player who he does, go or compete against quite regularly. Beastork, he has his own style, which is kind of what makes things difficult, right? He doesn't necessarily play standard.
To say the least, definitely. But I'm guessing the GogojOey, I mean, this is kind of the meta for Protoss. nowadays as an opener. So I'm guessing that GogojOey, at the very least, if he's been laddering regularly, should have been able to play against the style decently.
Oh, but I love this from NightMare. He is switching things up. We saw a lot of Stargate openers yesterday. We've seen a lot of double Stargate, but he is going full on triple Stargate.
And this is a commitment, to say the least. We'll see what he decides to get from that, if he's going to stick to the Void Rays and then eventually throw in a Fleet Beacon. But I want to just throw this out as an idea, like Mass Oracle. We've seen it again.
We have seen it before. And it's possible that we will see it again. But, the fact that he's continuing to pump out more and more Void Rays, we'll see if he decides to go into Oracles. But so far, it is just, there it is, a Mass Void Ray, 3 at a time.
Yeah, to be expected, really. And NightMare, I mean, I'm not convinced about this mass Void Ray style light, if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah,
usually Void Rays, you get a handful of them to transition to your next phase of tech, but yeah, when you're pumping out 3 at a time, it's quite an investment.
Yeah, we've seen this before, just 3 Stargate into Massive Void Ray, and as you said, like, if this gets scattered early on, and GogojOey has scouted this, he does see all 3 Stargates, so with that he knows, okay, I just have to commit to my anti-air. Like NightMare, it's going to take him a lot longer to transition into Twilight Council, into like a support unit for those Void Rays, so it can be hard countered.
But till then, I guess NightMare, he's just looking to turtle up pretty hard.
Oh yeah.
And GogojOey, he is definitely counting on that. I think he, initially anyway, if I know GogojOey, as aggressive as he likes to be, was kind of planning for a big timing attack, but now that he knows that, NightMare, he is going to be committed to Void Rays for at least a little while, he's going to be taking it a little bit slower this time. Well, yeah. I say slower, but...
Definitely,
I mean?
Like, GogojOey, he's forced to react to what NightMare's doing. He cannot do whatever he was planning to do, whether it was like some kind of big timing attack, and he has to kind of stay at home, he has to, make sure he gets the correct units out. And again, GogojOey, this is a pretty scary amount of Void Rays, and he's just buying time until he gets out his own, supportive units. We have a Robo on the way and a Twilight Council.
Yeah. Honestly, at this point, I feel like a massive switch into maybe a Templar Archives and a Twilight Council would be massive. GogojOey really focusing on this sort of Roach Hydra style. Well, mostly Hydras, but...
Yeah, I'm really curious. I'm really curious what NightMare's AoE is going to be, because we do see he's going charge lots, which is pretty standard. He did throw down a Robo, but he hasn't thrown down a Robotics Bay. So I was like curious if he was going to end up throwing that down, but we do see he is still going for the Templar Archives.
Yeah, you really may as well at this point. NightMare, he's kind of herded GogojOey into going down this path of going for the mass Hydras. And what's good against Hydras without Banelings? Chargelets and Archons and Storm.
Yeah, what I will say is that because of the style that NightMare went for, his Templar Archives is so much later compared to like players like Zest or Stats, what we've seen from them before. They get their High Templar out a lot faster, and they get Storm a lot faster as well.
Yeah, we'll see if this ends up being a detriment here to NightMare. That is a ballsy 4th base location, Joey. I gotta tell you that.
Oh god, it's right next to the Void Rays. To be fair, he doesn't know they're there, but oh boy.
Hide in plain sight. Hey, like his style.
Oh my god, and despite getting tagged, he's still waddling across the map.
No fear from GogojOey. He was born to attack, and attack is what he will do, but this does give NightMare the opportunity to come into the main base, knows that there isn't any defenses available here for Joey. He's not really targeting down much of anything, though, to be fair.
Yeah, it goes both ways, right? Like, they're both going to be trying to hit each other. There are plenty of High Templar. Storm is not ready.
Yeah, not quite yet. NightMare just needs to buy himself about 10 more seconds, 20 more seconds in order for Storm to be finishing up there.
Yeah, exactly. There's so much side defense. Overcharge is being used as well. It looks like the lair is going to go down across the map, and mate, Storm is done.
Storm has been completed. 20 drones go down. It should not take too much here for NightMare to be able to clean this up, especially considering, look at how far off creep GogojOey is. He is pinned into this area. Massive Storm. Nice little split towards the end there from Joey, but too little too late.
Exactly.
Feeling right now.
What's important to note is that was the last Storm, so that's all the AoE that NightMare had, but he was just able to morph in some Archons, gets barely enough units out, and he does hold.
Those Void Rays across the map are still alive, Light.
I'm so surprised.
Like, half of them are still alive.
Yeah, he didn't even have to recall. I was like, he's recalling now, but he had already held. Like, he didn't even need them for the defense.
Apparently not. Here comes the second wave from GogojOey, and we'll see what it can get done. It's been badly bruised in the initial assault, and again, that was attacking before NightMare actually had Storm or any other of these beefy units like Archons.
Exactly. A bunch of High Templar war warped in. Storm is not ready on them yet. He doesn't quite have enough energy, but he's just got so much on the ground.
Yeah, including but not limited to Chargelets, Archons, and let's not forget what he's got in the air. A heck of a lot of these Void Rays. GG's call. NightMare gonna be taking game number 1.
GG, and GogojOey, he was all in. He was even before, like, to be fair, like, him losing his lair solidified the fact that he was all in, so that was really well done by NightMare, and all he has to do is hold.
Yeah, after losing the lair, you could kind of see Joey a little bit stunned, almost. Had to make a quick decision there. But there wasn't really a clear path for him available. In the end, decided, you know what, I have to commit to the all-in, but again, by then, Storm was done, had some overcharge of NightMare had some overcharges available on his shield batteries, and that was game, pretty much.
Pretty much.
Both of them had over 400 APM.
Oh yeah, both of them were in it when it comes to that game. And yeah, we'll see what happens here in game number 2. There are a couple of people asking about Skytoss. Like, we've seen it do well. We've seen it being like countered well as well. I think, you know, people looking at this game like, oh my god, like NightMare was in complete control of that game. I would recommend watching last night Rogue versus Zest. Like, that was rough to see, where Zest gets a good lead and then Rogue like got into the swing of things and like shut Zest down.
But counterpoint, Rogue versus Stats.
True.
On Romanticide.
Specifically Romanticide, I think, is the way to say
it. You can skip the Death Aura game if you're interested in watching Skytoss be effective.
Yeah. I think it's important to say that, you know, it can go either way depending on how they approach the matchup, you know, how much time they stay at home, you know, working on their army, like how aggressive they are. I think it's also important to note that for the most part, Rogue never went for a timing. He would always try and prepare for the late game by like staying at home, macroing up, throwing down spores. Like he wouldn't really go for these Hydra timings.
Yeah, unlike the player who is not the one spawning here in the top left-hand corner of the map, spawning all the way in the top left-hand corner of Lightshade, the purple Protoss player coming down from South Korea. He is going to be representing Team NV. That's not New Vegas. Instead, it is Team No, wait, that doesn't work. We have NightMare.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Lightshade LE, we have the blue Zerg player representing or coming from Hong Kong. It is GogojOey. All right.
Zombie Grab was too. I'm not sure if you picked up my keyboard typing, but
yeah, we heard it. All good. All
right, Zombie Grab was on it. All appreciated. Now, you said that there was a debate going on in the chat about the effectiveness of Skytoss, but I gotta tell you, Light, I looked over and all I could see was an endless Funara.
An endless Funada. Everyone, don't forget exclamation mark Funada Dastan in the chat. We gotta hit that 420 mark at some point. But oh my god, I like how there are a bunch of like newer people coming in and they see that command. They're like, what is that? What? What even?
Well, may as well join in.
Exactly.
I like that. I like how you're feeling.
Oh god. All right, so now that we're getting into game number 2, like is GogojOey finally gonna be able to play his game, you know, what we know him for, like these kind of like roach timings, or is he just kind of forced to dance to NightMare's music?
I think it's worth a try for GogojOey here. I mean, there is always the, you know, lower bracket for him to survive. Again, if he gets knocked out here, then that's not going to be the end here for either of these players. And, I mean, he may as well just see how his normal style, you know, how that sort of flows, right, against a player like NightMare, who he probably isn't as hasn't played as much against.
Yeah, and I will also say that, of course, as a reminder, this is a double limb bracket, so you can kind of risk things here, even in the ace match. Like, you still have that lower bracket, like as kind of a cushion to land on in case you do fall from the upper bracket. But we'll see as NightMare is not going for a Stargate.
Yeah, starting things off here with the Twilight Council, and I gotta tell you, like, we saw a couple of these openings last night, but there were so many Stargate play openings that I'm so glad I'm seeing a Twilight Council again.
yeah, it's refreshing, you know. It's just every single game we just expect Stargate, to the point where it's like gotten a bit like, you know, samey, a little bit stale. It's like, mate, switch things up, you know, throw in some glaives.
And that's exactly how NightMare is going to be operating. Now, kind of like the Stargate, but also kind of not like the Stargate, there are multiple different ways that NightMare can play off this glaive build. Will he go for the 6-gate mass adept style, which does a ton of damage at the cost of, you know, delaying your transition, or is it going to be a little bit more conservative and sticking to the 4-gate? GogojOey does see this, though, with the Overlord.
Exactly. GogojOey did dive in, so he is aware of the Twilight Council opening. The follow-up, though, again, whether it's a 4-gate Glaive Adept, whether it's 6-gate, whether it's, like, just straight into Dark Shrine or something along those lines, like, yeah, Joey still has to be careful. He needs to go in for, like, a secondary scout, or even, like, spread out his lings to get a better idea of what's coming his way.
Like so. Well, okay, that's only one, right? Ling. Can you really spread your lings if it's only one?
Can you spread one ling?
You could split a ling, like, you know, cut it down the middle.
There you go.
Barbecue.
Oh god, and here we go, the adepts, they're coming across the map. So is that War Prism, as all the gateways are just finishing up. Meanwhile, Joey, he's got a decent amount of lings already out. Roaches are on the way with that Roach Warren.
Yeah, just continuing to pump out more and more and more of these lings. He's played against this style multiple times. NightMare going for the 4-gate play here, and I gotta tell you, like, just based on things like, you know, GPOs, or, well, not really Aodai, but, you know, the events that GogojOey does play, I gotta say, he is very used to playing against mass adept styles like this.
Oh yeah, definitely. This is something that someone like Pez whips out quite frequently, and we do see NightMare continuing to warp in more and more adepts here. So far, he hasn't committed to a shade, and the roaches starting to come out.
Yeah, but immediately starting to get targeted down. Rip that transfuse.
Oof.
A little bit of wasted energy there. And a queen will go down behind this. GogojOey trying to go first around, but decides to go for the shades instead, just in case. I do like that he's targeting down the Warp Prism, but just not enough queens here. And he's going to lose all of them.
Exactly.
Is that going to be a potential snowball here for NightMare?
It definitely can. Now the anti-air is very limited for GogojOey. The Warp Prism is low, but again, no more queens to try and focus it down. More Adepts of Shade are being warped in as well. I'm very impressed. NightMare, he has yet to commit to a shade.
Yeah, I mean, he knows that there's going to be a lot of damage that he can do just not committing to the shades here. And GogojOey, I mean, it's in his nature, isn't it? He sees something to attack, he goes straight for it.
Yeah, definitely. Like, he has been doing a really good job at following those shades with these lings. That's why NightMare hasn't been able to commit. Like, he just hasn't had the opportunity to. And we do also see the NightMare. Oh, he actually canceled his third.
Canceled? Okay, he wants to do a lot more damage here.
Yeah,
what it seems.
Especially because GogojOey, if you look at his vision, he sees that. Okay, never mind. maybe it was a mistake. He accidentally canceled it.
It's very possible. I do like that NightMare is going to be following this up with Gravitic Drive as well as those Disruptors. And I got to tell you, Light, I mean, where have I seen this before? Specifically, where have I seen GogojOey play against this from?
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about it yesterday, you know, Patience. It turns out Patience isn't the only Oceanic fan. It looks like NightMare as well. They kind of go in and squad stream it up, have a little bit of a viewer party, as Pez consistently does this whenever he can in this matchup.
Yeah, NightMare taking a page out of Pez's book. Knows that it is pretty effective against GogojOey, but on the flip side, GogojOey, he also is practiced against this. No, the queens! They were too zealous! Why are you attacking the queens, GogojOey?
Queens.
He's about to get
Oh god, F's in the chat. You do not want to be a queen of GogojOey, as they are all going down this game. And yeah, this entire time, NightMare, he, again, because he hasn't really committed to any kind of shade, like, he's barely lost any adepts. Like, he's lost 5 adepts in total.
Yeah, and he's just continuing to build up his army behind this. Disruptors are already out, starting to transition now into Blink Stalkers. Those that need something a little bit more beefy to deal against these roaches. And yeah, things are not looking too good right now for our blue Zerg player. To be fair, he hasn't lost any workers throughout all of this, and he's got a pretty big army to make use of.
Oh my god, but this massive Link counterattack is able to kill 10 workers and get on top of the rest of these adepts. Oof.
Pretty good Purification Novas, but in the end, Zerglings, they are the most negligible unit right here for GogojOey. Forces a recall over here, and D still is able to do a ton of damage. If you can actually pick off the Disruptors,
wow,
that will be massive. Takes one of them out.
Beautifully done.
That is the start.
Yeah, exactly. Like GogojOey again, he was on the back foot this entire game, just continuing to lose queens, not really been able to deal with the adepts, but instead he goes for a massive Link counterattack, forces the recall, is able to kill a decent amount of workers and that disruptor.
Yeah, I'm really liking the idea coming out here from GogojOey. Not going to be fighting NightMare on his own terms. Instead, going to be switching up the battlefield, so to speak.
Yeah. On top of that, I'm really surprised NightMare, he needs to send this Warp Prism home. Not because it's like a threat to going down or anything, but he invested in Warp Prism speed. Like, he hasn't been able to like use these disruptor drops at all.
But what if he's not going for disruptor drops where we're going light? Them disruptors, they don't drop. They stay in the air. They're called Scourges. They also suicide.
The Warp Prism does finally come back home, and there we go. We should see the disruptors being lifted up. Oh, never mind. He's just going with his entire army. He's going for this big push.
Well, his entire army minus the Warp Prism.
It's lagging behind a little bit. It's getting there.
Okay,
it's getting there. Ooh, and
it's making its way down.
What's scary is that GogojOey has no vision in the center of the map. He has no idea this is coming, and now he knows. And okay, let's see how he can prepare for this.
Yeah, he's got a pretty decent-ish army right now. But again, the supply, it sometimes lies.
Sometimes.
All, this is a roach-heavy army.
It is a very roach-heavy army. What's important is going to be these Nova shots, these Purification Novas. How good are they going to be? Meanwhile, at the same time, Bailing run by it.
Yeah, man, you can take out even more probes over here. Pretty nicely done. Does not cancel that base, GogojOey. Why?
Oh, God. Yo, he's going for a surround.
Yeah, coming down a ramp over here. Beautiful force fields, but they do just about get Corrosive Bout down. Purification Nova's kind of whiffed, not really getting too much damage done over there, but one of these flanks did get taken out. All things considered, GogojOey trading really well, forcing the army completely all the way back, but yeah, this is a start for GogojOey. It is nowhere near the end point for him.
Yeah, definitely. That was really nicely done. Beautiful surround there as well. Another whiffed Nova as well. Wasn't able to land on anything. And now GogojOey, he's going to be pushing across the map.
Yeah, NightMare really on the back foot right now. All these links coming in to reinforce. Oh, the Nova does a lot! And just like that, the tempo is swung way back into NightMare's favor. GogojOey's not out of it by any means, but this attack is that much more weakened.
Oh yeah, exactly. That Nova was beautiful. He got Roaches, Ravagers, and Bailings all in one. To be fair, GogojOey is nicely splitting up his army, looking to try and deny the fourth.
Yeah, and should be able to at least get a cancel here. Actually gets a kill. That's some revenge for the hatchery up north.
And at the same time, pushes into the natural as well. The army of NightMare is a little bit out of position.
Yeah, GogojOey, he just really knows where the weakness of NightMare's army is right now. And that's the fact that he doesn't have a whole lot of it. He has to spread it out real thin. Disruptors not getting too much. Nice little split there. Loses a couple of units, but could have been far worse.
Yeah, definitely. Meanwhile, GogojOey is on top of still denying that fourth base as well. What's scary is that NightMare is committing to this attack, and what does GogojOey have to defend? He's just barely morphing into Bailings.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Purification Novas do manage to hit. That last one not quite getting there. And there we go. The Disruptors are now on cooldown. This is GogojOey's opportunity to push in. Does get the Corrosive Pile on the Warp Prism. And NightMare, he's going to have to either win this or recall out.
Yeah, beautiful biles on that Warp Prism. Meanwhile, a couple more seconds and the Novas are reset.
And another decent chunk of the army taken out for GogojOey. NightMare finally taking the lead here in the army supply. And this might be too much here this might be too much Protoss.
We'll see. I mean, the Lings and the Bangs are getting on top of the army, and again, Lings are beautiful against both Stalkers and Disruptors, and it looks like GogojOey is going to be able to clean the majority of this up. Meanwhile, we've got some units rallying across the map, this random Colossus.
Without much of a buffer over there, GogojOey is setting up for a surround right now, trying to flank this Colossus with the Lings, is able to get them. And yeah, this is not the best position for the Colossus. Does go down, 2 Lings, funnily enough.
Yeah, there was just no buffer for it whatsoever. The Stalkers, they were busy trying to keep the Disruptor alive instead, and as a result, the Colossus does fall, but NightMare was able to walk away with the majority of his army.
Yeah, but in the end, at what cost? Unable to do much, if any, economic damage, and still struggling to get a 4th base out. GogojOey, it looks like he's just continuing to, try to starve NightMare out. I'm so surprised he decided to take the 4th at this location again.
Yeah, exactly. It looks like the 4th is going to go down once again. This time it is a cancel, but there is still a pretty scary army here. But again, you know what? He pulled the army of NightMare all the way to the south. Oh, GogojOey, he was looking for an opportunity, but he does back off.
Yeah, almost going to be getting an opportunity there as the probe throws down that 4th base, but does pull back once he sees the Adept Harass over here.
Uh-oh. And now we have NightMare going all the way to the southern base here, and GogojOey is forced to evacuate.
Yeah, I mean, armies, they're being pulled left and right, both for the Protoss and the Zerg. And now GogojOey's trying to defend over here. NightMare dodging a lot of these Biles.
Oh yeah, he does dodge the majority. A couple of them do land quite nicely, but there are just so many sentries, so many force fields.
And GogojOey not quite able to get that surround or that concave that he really desperately wants. Bile not quite taken out in the War Prism, but does land on a decent chunk of NightMare's army.
Yeah.
GogojOey's starting to really double the army supply.
The Biles were actually amazing. He got the majority of the sentries, and the Lings are trying to get the Disruptor. Oh god.
And no!
Wow.
Just the rest of the army so vulnerable. I think a War Prism went down.
It did. It went down. Oh, there's a secondary War Prism. It comes back and saves the Colossus.
Just in the nick of time. But NightMare, he is so on the back foot. He may as well be running backwards.
Is that what happens when you're on the back foot?
I imagine so.
Just barely keeping that Colossus alive once again. NightMare with some good War Prism micro, but again, all he has is Colossus and these Stalkers. No more sentries for force fields.
I believe in the micro light.
Oh my god, but who's micro? Because GogojOey, he's so close to taking this game. This entire time, NightMare did expand over to the north side of the map, and GogojOey actually has no vision of it.
Yeah, it is so important for GogojOey to be able to identify that. I think he's moving an Overlord over.
Oh yeah, and immediately he starts to divert his attention over to the north side of the map.
Yeah, this is a massive wide open area. Disruptor is so vulnerable. Does get taken out, but the army here for GogojOey is looking mighty trapped. We'll see if the reinforcements can come in and help out, maybe get us around.
Oh, the Biles are good, and you know what? That was all a distraction because the base did go down. Once again, NightMare stuck on 3 bases.
But is able to clean this out and still has a lot of his key units still alive.
Oh my god.
A lot of probes going down here, and this might prompt NightMare to go for the all-in.
Oh yeah, he's forced across the map. He's losing a lot of workers here. His economy is going to be in shambles, and now he has to make something happen with this army, and already kills a hatchery.
And this is honestly a very scary looking army. 2 Colossus that was able to stay alive throughout all of this, and a good amount of Stalkers to buffer here. GogojOey trying desperately to buy himself some time, get himself a couple of Ravagers for them Biles.
Yeah, definitely. He's just trying to get as many units as he can, and he's going in. Oh.
Yeah, trying to go for a flank, not a rally!
Yeah, a lot of units do get shaved off for GogojOey. Meanwhile, I love how annoying he's being. he's just spreading creep on location, just keeping NightMare on 3 bases.
That probe just standing there, just like, really? You're doing this to me? Really?
Oh my god, and
you forced me to bring the entire army back.
Exactly.
Really?
I'm so surprised. NightMare, he turned back. He still wants some macro out of this as best he can.
Yeah, I think the idea here for NightMare is, just try to reduce as many risks as possible. He knows he needs to do damage, but, I mean, he already got the 5th base for GogojOey. As long as he's able to secure another base, maybe 2 bases, then he should be in a better looking position. Because GogojOey, he doesn't have that much workers to him either.
Yeah, definitely. I just realized he's been stuck on 56 workers. Meanwhile, oh my god, the micro.
And it's looking insane. Imagine if Imagine if GogojOey just hides a couple of queens in that shrubbery.
Yeah. Oh my god. Again, that War Prism has been alive for so long. I'm pretty sure I saw a Spire thrown down earlier. There it is. Where the like again, Corruptors would be amazing right now. Not just to deal with the Colossus, but also to shut down that War Prism.
Yeah, all he needs is a handful of them.
Oh god, all the queens.
And he'll have a much better army. They're so exposed! Oh my god, GogojOey. He's like me playing chess, sending the queen out forward and then losing it.
Exactly, but not just one is the problem. Every single queen, only his injecting queens are still alive. Meanwhile, he's trying to get us around on the army.
And he should be able to get it. Good force fields, but there are biles available. NightMare actually purifying his own unit over there. Does get a hot pickup on these Colossus. They're looking so low though.
Oh my god, the most amazing Bailey connections. Managed to connect with the entire army. Everything of NightMare goes down.
Except for these Colossus, the backbone of the army, but they might go down. No! Bile just not quick enough.
Just barely. The Colossus were able to escape, but you know what? The problem is that that's all that escaped. The Colossus and the War Prism. That is it. And NightMare, he's only just barely getting up his 4th base. Now GogojOey, he's free. He's like, his bases are completely fine. Now we can go across the map.
Yeah, he is itching for that counterattack. Once he shuts down this army, it is done deal here for GogojOey. Getting a little bit distracted, but you know, not diverting his attention. Oh, actually, yeah.
Oh my god, yeah, decent amount of damage done there because of War Prism. Again, the anti-air, the lack of anti-air for GogojOey is really hurting him here.
Oh, well. As they say.
The Corruptors are...
No, where are you going, Corruptors?
Go,
if
go,
only
go.
these would mute us.
Apparently, the Corruptors are fast, but not fast enough, as the War Prism, of course, does have War Prism speed, and it looks like GogojOey, he's getting ready for another attack.
Yeah, I wish that one skin for Corruptors gives him like a rocket, actually makes him faster. Alright, one Colossus will go down, but it's all about Disruptors right now for NightMare. Or at least this one Disruptor, not gonna get anything.
That's it, that was the only shot.
That indeed it was. And now GogojOey, he's free to go down this ramp. Oh, I just noticed there was no charge for these Zealots.
Oh god, yeah, and now this entire army of NightMare is forfeit. Meanwhile, he is across the map with that lone War Prism and Colossus, trying his hardest to bring it back with that, but mate, it's gonna be at the cost of the entire base.
And again, NightMare, he's just been so starved out throughout this entire game. GG is called, and GogojOey will be bringing that to the ace match.
Oh, GG, well played, GogojOey. He does not go down 2-0. He does fight back against the South Korean Protoss player and puts a point on the board.
And he's doing it all for Hong Kong, man. I just refreshed the bracket here just to see if there were any updates, and I noticed who is waiting in the next round, and honestly, Light, I don't know who I want to advance.
I think regardless of who advances, they're going to be in trouble.
Probably.
Oh my god, everyone, exclamation mark B in the chat if you want to have a look at that bracket, as the winner of this series is going to move on to a qualification match against a Terran player, Dream.
And a reminder, that is going to be a full best of 5. Loser of that, going to go down to the lower bracket. Winner of that will be qualifying for DreamHack. They qualify for the closed qualifiers, right?
Yes.
They don't qualify for the... Yeah, because I was thinking 16 players, and that seems like a bit much.
So, as a reminder, there are a number of players who are missing in this qualifier, and that is because on top of these players here, 16 South Korean players or 16 players have been invited already to the closed qualifier.
For the Asia server.
Yes, yes. As I believe Time was invited, and I think Cyan was invited as well.
No, not Cyan, but we do have Nice.
Oh, that's it. Nice, yeah.
You're itching for a Protoss player there. Yeah, I mean, pretty much the names that you would expect were invited for the Asia qualifier. Barring Patience, maybe? No, not barring Patience. What am I? But with that, we are now going to be finishing up this, I believe, the last non-qualifier, at least here in the upper bracket, on Romanticide LE. LE, of course, standing for Lovers Investigation. Lovers Investigation. That is when you get like a private eye on your potential what's it called? When you have, the whole thing where you get to an arranged marriage, it was arranged by both of your parents, and you're like, okay, I need to know more about this other person. I'm going to hire a private investigator. That's like half of the Bollywood rom-coms. Here in the top left-hand corner of the map, starting all the way in the top left corner of the map, the purple Protoss player coming out for South Korea, representing Team NV. We have NightMare.
Hold on. I swear this is important. Okay. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Romanticide LE, we have the blue Zerg player representing Hong Kong. It is GogojOey.
It was that important.
No GG? Oh god.
I apologize to everyone over there.
Oh god. Again, I love this. I love how we have made it here to the ace match. Again, we're big fans of GogojOey. We cast plenty of him on this channel, and I want him to do well. And yeah, already taking a game off of NightMare. Solid.
Yeah, forcing this to go into the ace match, and again, this is the only non-qualifying match here in the upper bracket, so they're able to actually advance here. They've got quite a lot of insurance, even if they don't qualify in the next round.
Oh yeah, definitely, and we'll see what happens. Again, though, on the flip side of things, we have spoken about it before, like the pun potential when it comes to NightMare versus Dream.
We've been waiting so long for it. I mean, where's Steel right now? Because he was the one who was really hoping for this day.
Yeah.
NightMare versus Dream, man. We had so many intros of... by we, I mean I had so many intros that I had for NightMare that I think, this would work way better if he was playing against Dream right now. And there's potential for him to make it into that next round and actually do so. Yeah,
definitely. There's a lot of potential there. Again, Dream, he is one of the heavy hitters in this qualifying bracket. Regardless, for whoever meets him, it's going to be an uphill battle, whether it's GogojOey or NightMare. And we'll see what happens. Again, it isn't going to be completely one-sided, but yeah, Dream has been on fire recently.
Yeah, honestly, Dream is one of those players who I look at the invited player list and I think, man, if only there was like one less, if only there were a couple less Korean Terran players. Because Dream, he has definitely been in form, but yeah, they want to try to, get that racial distribution there in the invitees, and obviously they also base it on performance. And these other Terran players, like Maru, like Cure, like Innovation, they are up there and definitely have performed better than Dream, arguably, this year.
Yeah, definitely. I imagine it's based off of like EPT point rankings. I imagine. Yeah. So yeah, we'll see who joins them, and it's happening again. So NightMare is going for the Stargate opener.
Mass Oracle? Question mark? As a follow-up?
Well, we'll see what he does follow up with, because the game that he did win was a triple Stargate opening.
Indeed it was, so maybe he'll just think back and say, alright, what got me that win? Oracles. It wasn't Oracles, it was actually Void Race.
Oh boy, and already we have the second... Yeah, there it is.
Triple Stargate gonna be on the way, and yeah, I'm getting some deja vu here. It looks like we are gonna be going back to that mass Void Race style, but who knows, maybe NightMare can just give us a bit of surprise.
So, to be fair, this is going to be the second time that GogojOey faces this in this series. We'll see if he's going to be able to refine his style, and, come up with a better response to this mass Void Ray. Because again, like, he kind of was forced all in with a big Hydra attack, and when it failed, like, that was kind of it. So, again, like, there's different ways to approach this. You can go for a timing, or you can just kind of, like, lay back, accept the fact that you're going to be going into late game against Skytoss, and just, just be defensive instead.
Yeah, you could always channel his inner rogue here and try to build up into getting a bunch of infestors there for them fungals and the microbial shrouds.
Oh god.
Oh, I like this placement, GogojOey is quick enough to move away. For a second it looked like it actually wasn't gonna pop, but yeah, it did.
Yeah, it did in the end. So nicely done there by GogojOey, able to avoid. Oh my god. Uh-oh, no reaction.
GogojOey. He thought that was the end. Also considered not as many drones as it could have gotten, but yeah, that's quite a lot of lost mining time here for GogojOey, especially this early on in the game.
Yeah, definitely. That was quite rough. Meanwhile, I don't know how I feel about this, but GogojOey, he's going for a Spire, not a Hydra then.
Okay, then. That is interesting. Did he scout the triple Stargate?
He did not. But just now, he did send an Overseer across the map, and 3 Void Rays just gunned it down. I imagine he saw that, and he may be kicking himself, because now he knows that it is a triple Stargate, but he had already committed to the Spire, so... yeah.
Well, it's maybe quite possible that he sees the Void Rays and thinks, okay, this is going to be similar to game number 1. What can I do with the Spire that's good against the Void Rays and can also potentially get me a lot of damage across the map? Mutas. I feel like if GogojOey decides to go into Corruptors, he really has to babysit them for a while before they can, before they can do something useful here.
Yeah, definitely. You need a very solid Corruptor count if you're going to go up against Void Rays. Like, otherwise the Void Rays are going to overwhelm you. As we do have 8 Corruptors, 9 Corruptors on the way, plus 1 range attack as well. But you know what? The Void Rays are already here, looking to deny base.
And deny a base, it looks like they will. There are so many of them. Sure, there are 12 Corruptors coming out right now for GogojOey, but yeah, I don't think that's going to be enough once these Void Rays activate their Prismic alignment.
Yeah, bearing in mind that NightMare is continuing to produce nothing but Void Rays as well, which is the scary part. And yeah, again, GogojOey has to be so careful. He has to build up that Corruptor count. He can't lose any needlessly before that happens.
Yeah, really needs to focus on getting enough to start one-shotting these Void Rays in quick fashion. Cannot stay in a sustained fight. GogojOey, what are you doing? Going across the map.
Ooh, you know what? He snipes 1.
Yeah, let's see if he can snipe another. Let that count pump up. GogojOey, a little too aggressive there.
Oh, yeah.
Does end up paying the price. On the bright side, at least these Corruptors will slowly be able to regen their health, but yeah, that's quite a lot of damage. GogojOey going to be out of the fight for quite some time.
Yeah, but, to be fair, he is continuing to pump out more and more Corruptors. He does transfuse the low health ones as well. What's scary is that, we do have Charge on the way, plus 1 as well. Like, it's not like NightMare is committing to solely Void Rays, whereas that's kind of what GogojOey is doing. He's just investing everything he can into these Corruptors, and it's understandable, right? Like, because of the amount of Void Rays there are.
Yeah, it'd be pretty good if he decides to get a Baneling Nest or something along those lines. Does see a couple of those Zealots moving across the map, so yeah, he should know that, that's something he has to worry about. Does get a Caustic Spray!
No, GogojOey! He pulls back at...
all the way back to deal with these Void Rays.
Yeah.
Oh, dear. I feel like NightMare. He hit at just the right timing.
Exactly. He kills the base. 25 drones go down as well because there was nothing to stop these Zealots. Again, there's just barely anything on the ground for GogojOey, and it would have been maybe okay if GogojOey had at least killed the Nexus, but now it's survived, and now it's going to be, defended. Now there's all this stack defense going down.
The tunnel vision was definitely real here for GogojOey. That he's trying to fight these Void Rays, and I think there may be just enough Corruptors to at least barely win this fight. Actually going to be winning that fight somewhat handily, but now there are Archons, and these Corruptors are looking mighty bunched up here, like.
Oh yeah, definitely. He has to be so careful to kite away from the Archons. There's nothing he can do about them, and it does lose a couple of Corruptors.
Yeah, I mean, does it look like GogojOey is playing a little bit more reckless now that he took all those losses?
Just a little bit, but sometimes you have to pull the trigger. Sometimes you have to be a little bit reckless. And now he's going in with these Roaches. If he was together with his Corruptors, then maybe. But again, look how low the Corruptors are.
Yeah, that's a lot of health in the red, and that's a lot of Queens without energy to transfuse them.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like he's coming back to a bit more of a defensible position, though.
Yeah, for sure. And he does have to, start investing into that ground army, because for a while now, there have been no more Void Rays in production. NightMare has just, hard switched into a more ground-focused composition.
Yeah, and these Corruptors, they ain't gonna do much against that. In fact, they're gonna do literally nothing against that. Fully Caustic Spray units.
Yeah, if only. Meanwhile, it looks like the Roaches are going to be able to kill all the Zealots, but the Archons are pushing their way through there. Maybe enough for GogojOey? Maybe?
Barely. Yeah. There was some Warp Prism earlier. Did it get sniped, actually? No, it did not. Warp Prism is still over there chilling out. Getting some reinforcements coming in. Massive Stasis Ward.
Oh, yeah, massive Stasis Ward able to keep GogojOey back at bay. Meanwhile, oh, the Warp Prism, the Corruptors were so close to finding it, but in the end, the Warp Prism does manage to escape. And yeah, they do kind of, they kind of bounce off each other.
Yeah, for now, anyway. I feel like NightMare still got the way better end of that deal. But if you can actually take out Storm, that would definitely be something for GogojOey.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's a start.
That's actually pretty huge. It makes sure that no more Archons are going to be morphed in, no more High Templar, I should say, are being morphed in. No Storm is going to be quite delayed. Oh god, he has to be careful. His Roaches are being zoned in.
Yeah, and actually taking out a decent number of them, NightMare does. These two Archons, they have quite a lot of splash between them, and just an Immortal to clean things up. That's the scariest thing a Roach army can really be facing.
Yeah, definitely. And to be fair, this is kind of something that GogojOey is a little bit more comfortable with. Like, Roach Ravager is kind of like his go-to composition against Protoss. He feels a lot more comfortable with that. And oh my god, is he going to get the Templar Archives again?
It looks like he barely will. Is he going to get the other Templar Archives that's been warped in just on top of it? Probably not. There are Stalkers now, and not quite enough Corruptus here. GogojOey just trying to make use of them so he can transition to a ground army. And GogojOey has been doing a very good job buying himself enough time here to, you know, get back into this game. He is, okay, still pretty far behind in terms of the economy, but in terms of the army, he is not looking too bad.
Yeah, like you can see GogojOey's worker count is pretty abysmal compared to that of NightMare, but he's just focusing on the army instead, and that's really what he's been working towards. He does end up losing all his Corruptors, but I feel like he got quite a lot of value with them.
Yeah, and if you can get the split here with this Roach army, trying to at least, because this is a very potent force from NightMare, but it's also a very small force. A couple of Biles could just about be the end of that. Actually, already taken out an Archon and should be able to, okay, no, have force to retreat once that shield battery gets popped.
Yeah, definitely. He is forced to retreat. Meanwhile, some Zealots are able to deny a 5th base of GogojOey, and this is getting kind of scary. GogojOey, he's stuck on 4 bases. NightMare, he's getting his own 5th base. You never want to be in that kind of situation as a Zerg player, as GogojOey.
You absolutely don't. Especially as the game gets further and further along in NightMare. There we go, getting his first carrier.
Oh boy, the fleet beacon is done. The Skytoss transition is happening once again. Meanwhile, we'll see how this works out for GogojOey. He is going for a big Muta switch. He still, of course, has +1 flyer attack that he got earlier as well. There's an opportunity, especially because he was able to delay Archon production for so long.
And we'll see how it gets done. One of these queens will be taken out. Only a handful of Zealots over here. Not enough Zerglings to really deal with that, especially considering they don't have any melee upgrades. GogojOey pulls the entire army back. At least the entire ground army.
Exactly. Meanwhile, the Mutas are looking to dive straight into the main base, into the main of NightMare, also looking to deal some counter damage. Oh god!
And the lair goes down. No hive potential here for GogojOey. At least not yet, anyway. But on the flip side, he is starting to really clear out these probes.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, he's actually dealing a lot of damage. He cleared out everything in the main base. Now he goes down to the natural, the 3rd base location as well, getting another number of probes. So now the main armies are clashing.
That they are, and GogojOey, he is looking mighty disadvantaged over here. He got rid of the Corruptors earlier, but NightMare, he kept a couple of his own Void Rays alive. Actually made a couple of new ones as well.
I was about to say, like, NightMare can totally fight this. Like, nothing shoots up. Now the Mutas are coming in.
Yeah, and it is still looking to be in NightMare's favor for the time being. The Phoenixes come in.
Yeah, the Phoenixes come in, all the Mutas go down. Once again, nothing shoots up. He does attempt to bile a carrier, and some of the biles do land, but again, like, these Roaches are committed to make something happen, otherwise they're just going to be whittled away by the Skytoss.
Just like so. Lasers really start to hammer down on top of this army. Now, it's all said and done, NightMare, he has got the momentum on his side.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, he just has the superior army. We do see like corruptors are coming in here from GogojOey, which is nice, you know, and they do have that upgrade, but is it too late? To be fair, there is only one carrier.
Yeah, NightMare isn't really making any more of them, really committed more to the Void Rays, anticipating GogojOey to stick on the roaches for quite some time.
Yeah, definitely, and GogojOey, he has to make something else happen. Like, he did a lot of economic damage, which is great, but again, NightMare, he still has like the superior economy. Like, he is still ahead in workers, ahead in bases.
He is so far ahead, he does not know what to do with his money right now. They're not a Dark Shrine, because why not?
Exactly, he's backing up quite a lot of minerals and gas, and it's not like he's supply blocked. He does have, you know, he's maxed out in terms of that supply, so yeah, kind of missing some warping cycles here and there. Again, not really sure what he wants to spend his money on.
Yeah, he's not producing units.
Yeah, okay,
at all.
There we go.
There's the carriers.
Okay.
He's just waiting for just the right amount of gas here so he could get 3 at a time.
There you go. He wants them all synced up.
Yeah. The perfect toss.
Exactly.
Oh, no, the sync toss. Or no, the Dropbox toss.
Regardless, this toss is going to be taking some damage here as there's a massive Ling run by and the army is nowhere in position at all.
Yeah, really far away. The Phoenixes will be able to reach there before the rest of the army, but what are the Phoenixes really going to do? Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, we do have a massive run by over here. Queens come in, trying to transfuse as best they can. Drones, but these are +3 Zealots over here for NightMare, and they melt through that hatchery.
Exactly, and the problem is that sure, like, they traded base for base, but this hatchery was so much more valuable for GogojOey.
Oh yeah, I mean, you can just see it in the amount of minerals there. That was a well-worn base over there for NightMare, but a very fresh base for GogojOey. It is going to be cutting into his income much harder than it cuts into NightMare's.
Oh yeah, definitely. Now we've reached the point where NightMare, he's about to max out. Meanwhile, GogojOey, he's not too far behind, but again, a lot of that supply is kind of inflated with, you know, a mainly roach-based composition on the ground.
And NightMare, I mean, he's still being patient. He doesn't want to, you know, land in a situation where suddenly GogojOey has a ton of spores and a ton of corruptors or anything. But, yeah, I think he doesn't quite realize how far ahead he is. Either that or he just really doesn't want to take any risks.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like, maybe if GogojOey is able to catch, like, some of these carriers out of position, you know, kind of straying behind the Void Rays, like, there are chances here. Meanwhile, NightMare's just refining his army, killing all the Phoenixes.
Literally just shooting them over there, not even trying to send them across the map or anything.
It takes too long.
That will take too long.
Yeah. Oh my god, brutal, absolutely ruthless coming out here from NightMare. Meanwhile, you know, a bit of a roach run by, doing what he can, but yeah, these DTs are going to clean this up.
Yeah, on the one hand, GogojOey does take out a couple of shield batteries, so if he decides to push into that position, it's going to be a little more effective, but I think that's too little too late by now.
Yeah, now we've reached almost the ideal Protoss composition. He's got carriers, Void Rays, Archons, and High Templar with plenty of Storm available. The only thing missing really is the mothership. You know, -400, but even then, like, it's kind of unnecessary. Oh.
Yeah, and NightMare is well aware of this. Beautiful feedbacks on those Vipers. Only one of them left of energy. And what's one Viper realistically going to do? Yoink 2 carriers?
Yeah, if that, 2 carriers, as long as he's able to avoid the ground army and more feedbacks.
Yeah, NightMare really started to slowly push his way in here. It's a massive force, but it's going at a low velocity.
Snail's
Still
pace.
going to be enough. Snail's pace, there we go.
There we go. Meanwhile, again, beautiful feedbacks on the Vipers. No energy whatsoever, forced to suck on that hive. And yeah, I mean, GogojOey, he just can't engage this army. He has to wait. He has to wait for the Vipers.
Yeah, now he's supply capped, so can't quite get a big enough army either.
Yeah.
Because he was on Lair for so long, his upgrades are desperately lacking.
Oh boy. Meanwhile, he's just diving in.
Into a storm. It takes out a couple of interceptors.
He does.
But at this point, NightMare, I mean, he's got enough money to remake those.
Exactly. He's working on a pretty decent bank, just getting more stack defense up, expanding all over the place. And GogojOey, okay, now he's got a decent amount of energy. He's going in, he's hunting, he's looking for some carriers.
Yeah, just a little bit of damage. Eventually, he's hoping it can add up. Does get 2 of these carriers.
Oh.
One of these carriers. Another couple of good feedbacks.
Yeah, he gets 1 carrier at the cost of quite a number of corruptors and a Viper as well, and that was all the energy he had.
That it was. Here are the rest of the corruptors, and they're diving right on top of these void rays. Beautiful storms, and the rest is history. GG is called. NightMare going on to face Dream. Ooh, in that best of 5 qualifier match. GG by NightMare over there. Really nice little seesaw matchup here. I think I saw someone describe it earlier today.
Yeah,
when it's all said and done, only one of these players could move on to that qualifying match. It is not over by any means for GogojOey. Going to be going down to the lower bracket to have another chance to qualify. But yeah, he's got a couple of matches there before making it to the qualifying match.